Hey guys, what's going on? In this video I'm going to talk about how to verify a user password on Linux or Unix operating system. So this is useful when you have set your root user password but you are unsure what password you set. You are unsure whether you set X or you set Y. So since in the modern operating system you cannot log in or SSH as root, there is no way to verify it directly, but we can indirectly verify it by comparing the hash of that password that you have set for the user, for the root user, right? So what I mean is the password of all users in Linux or Unix is stored in a shadow file. This is the hashed of the password. So what we can do, we can try to regenerate the same hash by just guessing the passwords that we have in our mind, right? So let me show you what I mean. So if I do sudo /etc shadow, I obviously have to cat it first, and then let's say I want to try to actually verify the password for this test user, right? And I get the test for it. So as you can see, this is printing the hash of the password I have set for it, right? So in my case, what it says this one is the SHA-512 hashing algorithm because it starts with $6, and the value between second $sign and the third $sign indicates the salt of that password, right? And the exact password hash is this one. This is the password hash. Since we cannot unhash the hash, what we have to do, we have to try to regenerate the hash and see which one matches to the one that is here, right? So for that one, I need to generate the hash based on the password that I think is the correct one, also based on this salt which starts here, right? This is the exact salt. So as I said, there are two ways to do it. One is using command line, another one is programmatically using Python. So for the command line, what we can do, actually, we can use mkpassword. So mkpassword command. So if you don't, so let's say mkpassword, if I pass like something, right, then it generates the hash of that password for me, right? So if you don't have this mkpassword on Debian based Linux, what you can do, you can install this sudo apt install whois. So this mkpassword is under whois package, right? So let's see the man page of this mkpassword to see how we can pass the salt and specify the hashing algorithms, etc. So this is the man page. So what we can do, we can say mkpassword password salt, right? Then we can specify the method -m, then type. So here is the method. So to see whether it supports the SHA-512, what we have to do, we have to say in front of type, we have to pass the help, right? So I do mkpassword -m help, then it prints all the hashing methods that it supports. So SHA-512 obviously is there, MD5 is also there. So now what I can do, I can do mkpassword SHA-512, then pass the password that I think is the correct one. So let's say in my case, the password is hello world, right? I think this is the password that I set for this user. And then for the salt, what I have to do, I have to copy this value, copy the value between the $signs. Don't copy the $signs itself in this case. And then I pass it. So it generates the hash. And as you can see, the hash does not match, right? So that means the password that I thought is the correct one is wrong. But what if the password that I think is correct is this one? This 1 2 3 4, and now it generates the password, so I can compare it to see whether it is the correct one or no. So let me copy this value here, paste it, and as you can see, basically that is the correct password, right? Because here it starts with the LRS3 and it ends also with the same thing. So basically I guessed the password correctly. Obviously in this case I know the password. If you don't know the password at all, using this MK password is absolutely useless. As I said, the use case is you have, let's say, 10 passwords. You don't know whether you set this password or that password. So one way is just try to generate the hash of it, see which one matches, right? So that one was using MK password, right? So if you are using Python, so what I can do, I can say Python has a library called crypt. Let me bring its documentation here. So here, as you can see, it says function to check Unix password. So it generates the Unix password, the hash of course the hash of it, and it supports multiple methods. As you can see, SHA-512 is there, 256, MD5, etc. And the way to use it is crypt.crypt, then pass the password, and then specify the salt, right? And we don't need to specify the method in this case. We can actually pass the full salt, so the function itself will figure out what the hashing method is, right? So let's try it. So I do import crypt, and I say crypt.crypt. Then what I need to do, I need to pass the password, in my case test1234, and then I need to pass the salt. But this time note that I'm passing the entire salt, including the hashing, the notation that specifies what the hashing algorithm is. As you can see, $sign, $6 sign, right? So if I do like this, then I don't need to specify the method. The function, it will figure out itself that what a hashing algorithm is using. So now I did like this, and as you can see, it prints basically the hashed value. So I can copy the real hash value and try to compare it. So as you can see, it's correctly, I generated the hash correctly based on the password, because obviously the password is test1234. But let's say if I change just a bit of it, if I just pass 5, you know that the hash value doesn't match anymore, right? So you can use these two approaches for any hashing algorithms. Let me bring the pages here as well. So as you can see, it supports for the Python, supports SHA-512, MD5, etc. For the MK password also supports all those stuff as well. So if let's say if your password is hashed with the MD5, how you can guess that is hashed with the MD5? It starts with $sign, $1. This is the MD5, this is SHA-512. Each hashing algorithm has a specified, let's say, signature in the salt, so you can guess what you can know exactly what would be the hashing algorithm based on this signature, right? So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching and have a great time. Bye.